Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just making this video very quick, very fast, very much in the moment. Today I want to do my nighttime skincare, but I want to talk about a few things that have been weighing on my mind that I just want to talk about, that I want to share some exciting news. This video is not going to be a Nico's diary. It's simply just going to be a chit chat. Let's do our nighttime skincare. So it is 7:02. Don't know why I told you the time, but we just got done watching Love Island Games season 2 on Peacock. It's crazy. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of tension. I mean, I thought the season was not going to be that good, but it is actually kind of tea. So, yeah, that I'm not going to talk about that too much, but I have some notes on my phone that I want to talk about. And yeah, so let me get my notes together. Let me get my products down and I will come to you. So I have already cleansed and washed my face, but now I'm going to show you the products I'm going to use in the order I'm going to use them. So I'm going to use my new favorite, the Diablo Spray First Spray Serum. So it looks like this, but when you shake it up, it looks yellow, like gold, and nice and luxurious. Then I'm going to go in with my new favorite again, the Rhode Glazing Milk from Rhode. Then I'm going to go in with my Lemieux cream, the BioCell Rejuvenating Cream. And then finish it off with the Rhode Lip Treatment. So let's get started with the video. I wanted to share about the skincare before I get into the video because I'm not going to explain what the skincare is. I'm just going to go into it. Okay, starting with the spray. Let me spray this first and then I can talk because you don't want to talk when you're spraying this. Smells heavenly. If you're not a fan of like too much fragrance, probably that spray is not for you. It smells like botanical, kind of like floral. But anyways. Okay, so my first thing is the week in the life, what happened. So YouTube viewers wouldn't know, but I was going to make a week in my life this week. But you're seeing this video instead of the week in the life because I really didn't film the week in the life, and I'm going to explain and tell you why. So let's get into it. I had my driving test on Wednesday, so yesterday, my knowledge test for the state of Washington, and I don't know how well I did, but I didn't pass. And I'm not too upset and butthurt because I know that it was my first time trying again in like 4 years because I took the class when I was like in high school. And I know that I didn't like driving at the time, but I did it because I wanted to get my license and prove my family right or whatever, you know what I mean? But I didn't get my license. So I finished the class. And I finished the class, but I didn't finish the knowledge and the skills test. So I am doing it now, 4 years later. And I was confident going in there, and I knew the questions. Well, I didn't know the questions, obviously, because you don't know. But I knew some of the questions, like the road signs and all that stuff, like whatever, like the driving conditions. But the things that tripped me up was the marijuana questions. Like, I didn't really study the marijuana questions, and that really got me, I think. And some of the, like, late night driving also got me as well. But I'm going to try again. I don't know when I'm going to do it again. Maybe next week. I'm not sure, though. But that was a part of the driving. And now I want to talk about something that I know that some people, I don't know. Okay, let me just start it and we can just go from there. So, you know, a lot of stuff happened last week on the news and all that stuff. Everyone is aware. If you have a cell phone, if you have a computer, if you have an iPad, everyone's aware of what happened in the US and in the world and all that stuff. But I am the type of person that I just love love. I'm a part of the LGBTQ, and I just love love. I love my people, gay, I love straight, gay, bi, transgender, all of it. People are people at the end of the day, and I don't know why our rights and why we like have people in shambles because we're a certain way with our sexuality. I do not get it. I don't understand. And I went on my Instagram and I wrote just a quick thing that people, that should not happen in the world. I'm not going to talk about it because, that's not me. But, well, that I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to but I'm going to allude to it, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want it on my channel. I don't want that energy. But I'm just going to say, people all of a sudden came out of the woodwork and they wanted to talk about it on, but you never talked about it before. It's kind of weird. Like, you never talked about these issues before, but now since this is so relevant and that happened, now you're going to talk about it now. So I don't know. People are calling it out, but they're like, okay, you want to talk about this person when you never talked about this person before. And like, I get it. But so my post said, that, sorry, I'm a little frustrated and like a little bit like sad, frustrated, all of it, because it's just too much. Like, the world these days is not like it used to be years ago when I was a kid, okay? No one really, I know some stuff was relevant, but not really. So now I'm older and I'm a little wiser on what I know on policies and laws and all that stuff. But I said on my post, why, this person said very damaging words to not only to the LGBTQ, but to different communities and stuff. I have heard so many things, but I'm not going to talk about it in here. But I said, why aren't we talking about the mass deportations that happening with the Latin community? If you don't know, I'm Mexican. And I feel very heavy on that because those are my people. Like, it's sad. Like, no one, they're getting like taken away from all they know. They just want to come here to have a better life and all that stuff. And it's just very sad to me. And just, I don't know, I get really like heartbroken about it because like all they wanted to do is create a new life for their family. And people, the people are saying that they're criminals, that they do not belong here, which America is a free country. Like, we have freedom of speech, but that's probably being taken away now. So I don't know. But I said that. I said, why aren't we talking about the mass, what, in other countries? Why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't we talking about the LGBTQ and having our rights taken away? Like, let's be real. Like, okay, like, that's cute. Like, we don't do anything. If you, like, we just love who we love. We don't love, hatred and stuff. We love who we love, and I don't know why that can't, like, you don't have to love us, but you don't have to tear us down and silence us. That's what is happening in the world right now. And it's just crazy. And also on the part of, like, our queens, our dolls, our transgender people, is that they don't view them as people, which they are. They want to be who they want to be, and just, you don't have to support them, but you don't have to attack them and make them feel less than. But talking about this because during this week, I noticed that a few people are like unfollowing me about my stance on what's going on, and that is totally okay. You don't have to like me, but I just think it's weird. Like, we were in the same places and this stuff was never really brought up. I mean, I knew their beliefs, not really like the really like that beliefs, but I knew their, you know, what's the word? I knew their beliefs, whatever, and I did not know that they had the other beliefs and values that that person had, and so it's whatever. But I just so I slid up on one of my, whatever people who unfollowed me, and I was like, hey, I just saw that, and I thought that was a little weird. I don't have any hatred, but like, why? Like, I didn't do anything to you. I know that what I said is like what I said, and I'm not gonna sure what they said, but it was kind of cold and honestly bitter. I don't know. I don't know if bitter is the word, but it was obviously cold, and that's it is what it is. So I don't have those people in my life anymore. I don't want people on my stuff spewing hatred. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for love. Like I said a million times in this video already, I'm here for love, not here for hatred. I want people to express themselves. I am a person of, if we have different views, that's okay, but we don't have to bring it up every single time we see each other. We don't have to talk about it. Like, you have your views, I have my views, and that's fine. But, yeah. 1 second. Since I film it on my laptop, I have to keep the clips a little shorter. It's for transferring to my phone. But I just wanted to say, I've been telling this to my mom, and we know a lot of people with different views than us, and that's okay. People are different. Everyone's different. But what I'm saying to my mom is, like, how can they support me, love me, but not love my other people, the LGBTQ? Like, how could they just spew so much hatred, but then, oh yeah, Nico's okay because we know him? No, that's not okay. If you don't like my LGBTQ queens and stuff, like, don't love me either. Like, don't accept me because you know me since I was a child or whatever. If you don't like what the LGBTQ is doing, if you don't like what people are saying about that, then don't love me either, because I'm all about, different views. So I don't know. I just think it's weird how people can approve of me but not other people in the LGBTQ. That's just what my thing is. And it just makes me so sad that, I have to be kind of on guard with people a little bit. Like, if we go certain places, I have to, like, not really be myself. I have to, like, be the Nico 4 years ago. Very scared and what the world thinks of me. How do people view me? Can I wear makeup to this event without getting judged? Can I, do certain things, talk tea without being judged? Like, I'm just going back to that place that I was, and that was a very dark place for me. It was not cute at all. Like, no tea, no shade. It was very dark. And I don't ever want to go back there. So, that's what I say about that. I'll be right back. So I feel myself getting a little bit, like, heavy heart and heavy chest or whatever. Like, I don't want to be that person who has to, like, fight for what's right. But it's, like, it's sad, like, seeing what's happening in the world. Like, I can count how many people that are doing the right things. And there's so many people that I lose track of because they're just so, like, consumed in the stuff. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want you around me. But, you can't avoid. So, anyways, I don't want to talk too much on the beliefs and values and what's happened in the world because I try to stay away. But, I watch some videos and stuff and tea and all that stuff. But anyways, I wanted to say the tea that I have is, okay, so I watched my cousin's TikTok, and she is a book queen. She loves her books. And she said, like, I'm writing my book, and I read one of her books when I was very young. Well, not very young, but, like, young. And it really know what, like, I didn't really get into my book phase, but now I love reading. I love writing. I love writing more than reading, but I love writing. And she was like, I'm writing my book, and I don't know if it's going to be published or not, but, you know, this is, she said, do a hobby and just consume in that hobby and don't stress about it. Anyways, I love that. I took that as wow. But a couple days ago, I have started a new book, and we're the same way. She said, I start a book, I write so many pages, then I just scrap it, and it's not good. But my book is a new vision that I have, and I always wanted to write a romance, and then I always wanted to write a romance with fantasy, and I love fantasy. I don't know how to get into fantasy like that, but I love Game of Thrones and all that stuff, but whatever. But this book is a romance. It's a college romance. I don't want to share too much, but I have a name right now, sort of. Rekindle Flames. And I don't want to share too much, but I'm in the early process. I wrote the prologue, and I wrote almost done with chapter 1. But I want this to be a short book, but have very long chapters, long discussions, long thoughts of what the character is thinking about. You know, I'm not writing it in my view, I'm writing it as the character. So there's going to be some tea, and Rekindle Flames, take that what you will. You know, some people, you know, go back to each other and stuff like that. They rekindle their little flames. I don't know. We'll see. But that is that. And I want to just end this talk with, you know, that's why I didn't really film my life this week, because I was just so heavy in my thoughts and what the world's going through that I didn't want to just spew negativity and talk about something I shouldn't talk about online. I want to be mature about it and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope people have their safe spaces. I hope people know that they're loved and they're and we appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want people to feel like they're not like tea, because you're tea. Bitch, stand up. Like, you're tea. Anyways, so thank you for watching this video. I know it was kind of heavy, but yeah, just love one another, and